What's going on, everybody? My name is Dylan, also known as Vijex TV. Welcome back to the channel, and as always, I hope you guys are all having a blessed day. Alright guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be going over my guide for power leveling in Destiny 2. This is a more casual power leveling guide, so if you're looking to be one of those people who is a day one raider, who's trying to go for world's first. This is just a basic form of what you should be doing. There are some advanced techniques to power leveling that aren't in this guide, but this guide is mainly for casual players and players who are getting into Destiny who might not know how to power level as efficiently as others do. So if you are a veteran player, I will have to apologize because you probably know most of these different tips and tricks and all that good stuff and the different steps to leveling up your character. But if you're new here, welcome. This should help you get you off your feet and get to power leveling as efficiently as you can. All right, so let's just hop right into it. So, first character. So these are the steps that you should do on your first character when you load up Destiny to play in this new season. So on the first character, play through the campaign if you have the DLC. So if you have bought the new expansion, if you've bought Beyond Light, there is a story like mode to go through. I highly recommend if you do have that you just play as normal through the story mode, and uh, and you'll get drops and you'll level up your character that way. If you don't have the DLC, you can run Strikes, Gambit, or Crucible, and you do this until you hit the soft cap of 1200. So in Destiny, there are different power level caps. We have soft caps and we have hard caps, and there's a couple that you'll hit as you play. So here are the main caps for this season. So the soft cap, the first soft cap is at 1200 power level. So once you reach 1200 power level, you won't be able to increase your power level just by getting blues and purples from strikes and crucible and things like that. You'll have to start doing your powerful rewards and your pinnacle rewards. And then the next soft cap that you hit will be at 1250. That is a harder soft cap. That is the main cap that a lot of people are going to get to. And then 1260 is what's called the hard cap. That's the highest power that you can get to this season. It's also called the pinnacle cap because the only way to increase your power after hitting 1250 is to do pinnacle rewards. So when the new raid comes out, that'll be pinnacle rewards. You know, running 3 strikes, running 3 crucible matches, gaming matches. You know, anything that has a pinnacle reward tied to it, that is the only way you're going to be able to get 1260. And that's probably going to take the longest to do. You know, within a couple weeks, if you're really grinding, maybe even a few months, you'll be able to hit 1250. But after you hit 1250, it's probably going to take, several months to hit 1260 because you're just limited on the pinnacle rewards that you can do. I don't know. We haven't seen how the season's going to go. Maybe Bungie will add more pinnacle rewards to do so that hitting that hard cap isn't as hard, but we'll just have to see. The main goal right now is trying to hit 1250 as fast as you can. All right, so after you've gotten all of your gear to 1200, that's when you start doing your pinnacles and stuff. But here's a couple things that you should do as you get started. Like, if you have the DLC, you run the first mission. After that mission, you should go and do these things next. So first thing you should do is make sure to go to the tower as soon as possible to pick up bounties from vendors to complete as you play. So basically, hit up Banshee, hit up Shax, Zavala, Drifter, pick up all their bounties because their bounties are tied to powerfuls that you can get later on after you complete 8 of their bounties. And obviously, these bounties will give you XP, which will help level up your season pass, which can get you armor and weapons that you can use for later. And it also helps level up your artifact, which will give you a power level bonus to your base power level. And then something new that they added this season is you can actually masterwork your ghost and use the blinding light mod to increase your XP gains as you play. So basically, ghosts are completely different. Like ghosts don't have you know mods on them already in this season. You have to actually go into your ghost and level your ghost up, and you can put mods into your ghost like you can with your armor, and you can put different uh, resource mods in it, cash mods. There's different things for getting glimmer when you do objectives. There's some new mods when you play strikes, crucible, and gambit where they give you extra pieces of loot. So really look at your ghost and try leveling it up and masterworking it. It's pretty much like masterworking a weapon. You don't need an ascendant shard or anything like that. I don't even think you need any enhancement prisms. I think it's just enhancement cores like weapons. So get in there, masterwork your ghost, and use it to its full potential. And so after you reach 1200, now is the time to do your powerfuls and your pinnacles. Like I said, once you reach that soft cap, that is the only way you're going to be able to boost your light. So start with your tier 1 powerfuls and move on to pinnacles last. This is really for as you start getting into the higher levels, getting closer to 1250. Because once you start out, all your powerfuls and pinnacles are going to be dropping way higher than what you are. So you really don't have to worry about what you do first early on. Just do your powerfuls and pinnacles. It doesn't matter what order. But as you start getting closer to that 1230 to 1250 range, do them in order from your, tier 1 powerfuls first, upward and onward to pinnacles. And to know what powerfuls you have to do, look for the gold icon next to planets in your directory to see which powerfuls you have to do. So, you know, once you go to your directory, you see all the planets and everything. If you have a powerful or pinnacle to do there, it'll have a little square gold icon next to it. And you want to do all of those, activities until you look at your directory and see that there are no more powerfuls or pinnacles to do. Because if you don't get all of them done by the end of the week, the weekly reset will happen and you'll basically miss out on a powerful that you could have done. And it's just wasted. So make sure you get all of those done. And then this is very important. So, number 5, if any prime Ingrams drop while you're playing, make sure to turn them in immediately as they do not scale with your base power. So, a prime Ingram is essentially it'll drop and it'll look like a regular purple Ingram, but it'll have like little white like flecks, coming off of it. It'll look special. It's purple and white, and it makes a different sound than the legendaries do. It's somewhere in between a legendary and a exotic drop. Just be listening for the queue. Always check your postmaster after you're doing. If you have Destiny Item Manager, you can refresh it and look at your postmaster. Make sure you didn't miss a prime, because prime Ingrams are like pinnacle drops right now. They can drop up to 3 levels above what you are. So if you have a prime Ingram, make sure to turn it in as soon as you get it, because if you forget to turn it in, and let's say you're at 1205 power, that Ingram will drop at 1208. But if you forget to turn it in and then you get to like 1210 power, by the time you get to your postmaster and look and see that you've got 1208, it's going to be worthless. There's no point in using it at that point. So make sure you turn your prime Ingrams in as soon as you get them, because they don't scale with your base power. If pieces of gear, number 6, if pieces of gear start to trail behind, just run strikes, gambit, or crucible to catch them up with blues or purples that should drop of your base power. So let's say that all of your pieces of armor are like, 1210, but you know, your class item, your mark or your cloak or whatever is at like 1206. You know, go run some crucible matches, run some strikes. Your base power should be at like 1209, 1208 maybe. And run stuff until you get a blue or purple class item to drop that's at like 1209 or 1210, and that'll help bring your overall power level up and kind of catch everything up. So you want to try to keep all of your pieces around the same power level before you do a powerful reward, because if you're missing out on a piece, and let's say you already have like 1210 arms, and your class item is like 1206, if you do a powerful reward, there is a chance that you will get another set of 1210 arms, and so that power award is just wasted at that point. So make sure you always catch up your gear before you do your powerfuls, because you don't want any of them going to waste. And then last but not least is try to refrain from using any gear from your season pass unless you really need something to help boost the power of a certain piece of gear. These items from your pass can be very useful as you get closer to reaching the hard cap of 1260. So basically, what this means is, you get armor and a certain amount of weapons from the season pass. And this, it doesn't matter if you have the pass or not. There's like a free section and then a section for people who have the pass. Obviously, you'll get more rewards if you have the pass, but um, at the end of the day, try to not pull out any of these armor pieces because they will scale with your base power level. So the you want to save these as you get into the higher levels when you're getting closer to 1250 and even 1260, because they can come in clutch once you start getting up there in those higher levels of your power level. So try to save these as long as you can. If you're really desperate and you're really looking for a piece of gear, you've done powerfuls, there's no other way that you'll get a piece of gear that'll help, you know, pull something out then, but other than that, try to keep your hands off of the season pass gear. And so with that, that is the end of your first character. Uh, my character was at almost 1210 power level. My first character was almost 1210 at the end. So at the end of all the grinding. So I don't know where you'll be at with this game. It depends, with the drops you get. You can get really lucky, but more often than not, you'll get repeats of things that you don't need. I got really unlucky on my Titan, especially. So you have to hope and pray that your RNG is good. All right, so moving on to the second character. So the first thing you should do in your second character is bring over all of your high power weapons and your ghost from your first character. These weapons should increase your overall power of your second character. So basically, you just take all the weapons because you can't bring any armor over and infuse it into another character's armor. So like you can't take warlock armor and infuse it into hunter armor. That's one thing I've kind of hated since D1 you could do that in Destiny 1, but in this one I mean, I guess it does make it a little bit more challenging to level up and gives you more time to do things, which is a good thing, but can also be very annoying as well. So, but you can bring over your weapons. So your second character should be at like 1050 power level. Once you get done leveling on your first character, your weapon should be 1200 plus. So you bring those over, and those will instantly boost your power level because you'll have all these 1200 plus weapons, and then you'll have the 1050, 1060 armor pieces, and that'll balance out, and you'll be around 1100 something. So once you do that, once you bring over all your weapons and equip them, go to any vendor that you have a lot of tokens slash planetary materials for and start handing in your tokens slash materials. So let's say you grinded a bunch of Crucible in the season prior. I know going into this DLC, I had like 6,000 Crucible tokens. So all I had to do was go to Shaxx and start turning in my Crucible tokens, and that instantly started catching up my armor pieces to my weapons. But you can do this with any tokens or any planetary materials. Say if you have a lot of Vanguard tokens, you can go to Zavala, or say if you have a lot of planetary materials, like if you have a lot of data lettuce, you can go to Nessus and turn all your stuff in to uh, that NPC there. I can't remember her name for the life of me, but you can go to the Nessus planet and turn in the planetary materials. And so just go to any vendor that you have a lot of resources for and turn those resources in. This will help bring your armor up to the power of your weapons, but note that this armor will drop 20 power levels below your base power level. So eventually you will hit a wall and you won't be able to increase your power by turning in your tokens slash materials. So, with the armor that's coming from these vendors, with it dropping 20 levels below your base, you're not going to be able to get your overall power level up anymore after you get to a certain point. So, like, I remember on my second character, I was at like when I was turning in my tokens, I kind of hit a wall, and at around 1176 base is when it kind of stopped for my armor pieces. So like my weapons were 1200 plus, my armor pieces were all like 1176, and my base power level was like 1196. So my armor was 20 levels below my base power level, and I couldn't bring my power level up anymore. And so when that happens, once you hit the wall, all of the armor should be close to 1200, which mine was 1176, so I was close. Um, that's when you should go run some strikes, run some crucible, run some gambit, whichever one you like to do. Go run that, and the blues and purples from those activities should, drop you armor that's higher than that cap that you hit, and that will help get you to the 1200 mark. The 1200 mark. All right, and so once all of your armor is 1200, pull the armor out of the big bundle that you get at level 1 of your season pass. So in the season pass, for season pass holders only, and I put a little note like, note if you don't have the season pass, you will not be able to do this. For season pass holders, at level 1 in your pass, there is a box, and you click on it, and it pretty much gives you all of the armor pieces and the new exotic from the season pass right off the rip. You don't have to level up to get that stuff. And this armor that drops from your season pass, that bundle, will drop at your power level. So, like I said, once you get to 1200 power with your armor pieces, your base power should be closer to your weapons. So you'll probably be like around 1203, 12, closer to 1205, So once you pull out all those armor pieces, it'll catch all of your stuff up, all of your armor up. So it'll bring all your armor up to above 1200. And so once you do that, like I said, this should drop this armor should drop at your base power level, bringing your overall power level up to just below what your first character's power level was. And so now that your second character is fully caught up, feel free to pick up all the bounties and begin doing all of your powerful slash pinnacles. So once you've completely caught up your armor, they'll probably be just under your weapons. Once you've done that, go ahead and start doing all of your powerfuls and pinnacles, and you should end up with a power level that's higher than your first character's power level is. So my second character was around 1220 when I finished, so I gained a whole 10 power levels on my second character. You could get lucky; you could gain anywhere from 15 to 20 powerful levels, if you get lucky enough. So, but like I said, my Titan was my second character, and I got really unlucky with my Titan. So, um, but yeah, now that you're done with your second character, the third character, you pretty much essentially just repeat all the steps that you did for your second character. If you get lucky, you should get around 1230 plus on your last character by the end of the week. I am around 1235 on my third character. So, you know, you should be at that mark by your third character. Obviously you could be, below it a little bit or above it a little bit depending on how lucky you got. but hopefully RNG was on your side and you got to a good power level at the end of the week. But the important thing is running all the powers and pinnacles on all three of your characters before the week ends and the reset begins, because you don't want any powerfuls to go undone. So you don't want to waste any powers. All right, and so last but not least for this guide, we're going to talk about the seesaw method. So the seesaw method is a really useful method for leveling up your characters fast and efficiently. The way this works is basically taking the character that you finished on this week and starting all of your powerfuls and pinnacles on that character the next week. So I have an example right here. So example week 1, so the week 1 of the season pass, you start with character 1, character 2, character 3, and then the next week you start on character 3, and then you go to character 2, character 1, and you flip flop. It's a seesaw method. You go from one character down to your last character, then you use that character, go to your first character, and so you'll get it. It'll become second nature to you, and this means that you're constantly moving your high power weapons from character to character to help boost their overall power level. So when you get finished with your uh, on the second week, when you finish your third character, those weapons should be really high power leveled. You put them back on the second character. You do your powerfuls. It can increase them even more. And by the time you get back to your first character, those weapons are going to be so much higher than those armor pieces that you can catch, the armor pieces up very quickly, and then you redo it all over again. And this is a very efficient way for getting your power higher and not taking as much time to do so. All right, and so we ended off with a ending statement. I hope this guide has helped. Lord, we gotta make a has helped you understand the basic leveling process of Destiny 2. I know a lot of veteran players already know this stuff, but this is mainly for new players who might not know the best ways to power level their characters. So this is just a basic little guide for anyone who doesn't really know the power leveling process of Destiny 2. Like I said, for veteran players and for people who are going for world's first, there are other tips and more advanced things that you can do to really capitalize uh, on your power leveling. And obviously, there's way more grinding that goes into it. There's hours spent, So this is for the casual gamer, the inexperienced gamer who has a couple hours to play every day that can get some powerful stuff done. And that's really that's all that really matters when you're doing this stuff, is that you're leveling as efficiently as possible with the time that you have. But there you go. There is the guide. I'll figure out a way to post this guide in the description so that you can look at it whenever you need to. Or if you just, you can come back to this video anytime and look at this. This will always be here. And this isn't just for this season. This is just a basic power leveling guide for pretty much any season. You can use this guide in any season and it will work, because that's essentially how it's worked since Destiny has started, you know. So, but yeah, you guys feel free to come back and look at this. Please let me know down in the comments if this guide has helped you with power leveling, and please leave comments letting me know what else you guys would like to see. We're going to be continuing to put out videos on the new season. Um, so yeah, you guys just let me know what you want to see. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. You all have a great day.